Hey there, I'm Marnie Downing, and I'm here to talk about my internal and external communication chart for our school district here in Buckland, Kansas. We'll talk a little bit about why I chose this particular assessment tool. I chose lucid chart diagrams mainly because I have used this particular program or website before, and I found it relatively easy. You also are allowed to do 3 charts for free, and so that's a win-win if you get to use something for free. Obviously, it's easy to use. You can use color, which I chose to use. It does allow you to add different graphics, which you can easily pull up through the system itself, so you're not having to go through the additional step of finding the graphics in images in Google, then putting them on your desktop, and then upload, on and on and on. It makes it much easier if that search application or task is in the website itself. It makes it a much more easy process, or much easier process. So that's why I chose this particular website. Now, as far as the steps, I found it challenging to know exactly what this particular module was asking for. I can't say it would, making the chart was time consuming. That's obvious. And maybe a little hard to read because there's just so much information. But this is the best guess I came up with as far as getting the module completed. So I did define my communication into 2, which is internal, which deals with our administration, our faculty, and our staff. Now, the faculty, I would call, those are people that are all here. So that would be everyone from your custodians on down. And the staff, I chose to think of those as classroom teachers themselves. I suppose some people could think that's reversed, but that's how I chose to understand it for this particular assignment. The next was the external, which is dealing with students, their parents, the partners that we have in the community, and our diverse community members. So I chose to put them in different colors, and so as you can see, the lines are talking about how they communicate with each of those other members in the community. So our administration definitely uses email. And oral, they're very much into using digital means to communicate. It goes out to everybody, including the staff and the faculty and the community members, so it remains very transparent. This is something that we have tried to definitely do through the KISA process because relationships is one of our R's, rigor is the other. And so that's been what we very much have tried to do, is communicate with what we're doing here as often as we can and be as transparent as we can with parents and students and our other stakeholders in the community. So that's what I have done, as you can see along these lines. Hopefully it might be a little confusing where you're talking about email, social media. We do use many forms of social media. There's Facebook. We have a Facebook group. We use Twitter and Instagram. We do have a district calendar that goes out every year that is given out freely to anyone that wants to come in and get it, to parents, students, and anyone in the community. That tells about any events that are going on here at our school, which is really nice. And that tells about sporting events as far as field trips, if those have already been pre-planned, and any days off of school and what those are for. And that is a great way to communicate right off the bat. We use e-notes. E-notes is something that we use to talk about, okay, we're not going to have school tomorrow because of inclement weather, or if there's any changes in the calendar that you see here, because we've had to change a track meet because of a rain delay, or you need to pick up your kids early because we don't have any electricity in the building, something along those lines. We did start a new app. It's a Buckland app that you can actually get and download yourself if you want to know what's going on in our school. Oral, we do, of course, we do a lot of that. We talk to each other all of the time. And written, those could be any newsletters that go out to the community. And we also do any form letters, obviously, that go out to students or their parents that might need to be signed. And we do use PowerSchool, and our parents are able to access PowerSchool along with our students. PowerSchool has been something that we've definitely used this year because we have seminar that's built into our school day, and so our children are required to check and do a grade tracker every day in the junior high and high school level to ensure that they know what their grades are and how their assignments affect their grades over time. So that's pretty much everything that we use. We do have a small marquee that's outside of our building that was donated by a foundation from one of our families here at school. I mean here in Buckland, and that also gives you updated information. So let me read this little paragraph that we're supposed to put at the end. So Buckland Schools is in the 4th year of the KISA process. We have worked diligently to increase our communication to all stakeholders. Our administration has found using digital format and social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, to be the best way to effectively communicate to all stakeholders. Currently, our teachers have been working to increase two-way communication with our parents. It seems most of our parents prefer a digital form of communication such as text. A text is sent and received in real time and easy to answer. Most of our students and parents will communicate with the school or with the school district itself via email or phone call. Our elementary school staff is more consistent with practicing two-way communication with parents. We do have a weakness in the junior high and high school staff when it comes to consistently communicating with parents. Our district has begun student-led conferences this year, which showed a large increase in attendance, especially at the junior high and high school level. So that is something that we have been working on, and I'm a member of the district leadership team, and we have been working on and moving towards a two-way form of communication. So at this point, we're sort of at the pre-stage where we're really explaining to teachers what two-way communication is, which means you communicate and they actually communicate back to you. I obviously have done that for the majority of my teaching careers as a special educator. I often contact parents and they have to contact me back because I'm setting up IEP meetings or I need their particular expertise on their child and what we need to be doing with their children to move them forward. So that's where we are. I hope you understand my chart. There's a lot of information there. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to listening and looking at my other classmates' charts.